Welcome to the Wise Way to Success podcast. I'm your host, Robert Wise. And today I want to talk about how to go from ordinary to extraordinary. Who doesn't want to go from ordinary to extraordinary, right? So how do we do it? How do we go from living our mundane life to living a life that we want, that we desire, that will fulfill us? Well, it's going to start with one simple word. And that word is yes. Okay, so what am I saying yes to? Okay, good question. Saying yes to something that might scare you, that might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. It's time to start saying yes to the things that will help you grow, help you evolve, even if it's scary. So when we say yes to things, we're actually opening up opportunities. And when we say no to things, we're closing opportunities. I'll give you an example. I'm planning on going on this trip. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really interesting. No. I don't feel comfortable. I've never done that before. So by you saying no to an opportunity, you are limiting yourself from living that extraordinary life that you could be living. I want to help people get out of their comfort zone and break that cycle of safety that they feel they need by saying no to things that could actually be really exciting and very fulfilling. So a lot of times we are scared to do things, not because we're born scared to do things, but because we're probably told by somebody, yeah, don't do this, it's dangerous. If you try that, you can get hurt. So we start to take that voice, that scared voice that we heard maybe from our parents or a caregiver, and we start to implement that voice within ourselves. So when somebody says something like, do you want to try that? Your instinct is, no, that sounds risky, or I'm not sure, that could be dangerous. And you're preventing yourself from living your life. So I think it's really important to be able to recognize what you're saying no to and why you're saying no to it. Am I saying no to it because it's really not a good situation? Or am I saying no to it because it puts me out of my comfort zone and it's kind of scaring me? There is something called good fear, a good anxiety. It's anticipation. It's something that is exciting. So a lot of times we hold ourselves back. We will say no to things that we really would have loved to say yes to, but we're too scared to say yes to it. We're too scared to say yes to something that we don't know, or we're not sure what's going to happen, or we're not sure if this is something that's going to be safe or going to be fun, or am I going to have friends, or am I going to be able to meet new people? So we don't do it, which is what's called an avoidant response. We avoid the things that make us uncomfortable. That is why we have more and more anxiety, because I'm uncomfortable with a situation. So rather than go through it, I will avoid it. Rather than say, yes, sounds great, I'll say, no, I'm not available to do it. In a way, it keeps me safe, but then it also keeps me in an ordinary state, because I can't grow if I'm safe, if I'm stuck. I'm not telling you to jump into traffic, don't get me wrong here. What I am trying to tell you is to break out of your comfort zone, do something different, do something exciting, something that will help you to grow, something that will give you experience, a new experience, something that will help you to get more knowledge, create abundance, and a way for you to start living a more extraordinary life than an ordinary life. And a lot of times people will instill their fear on you. And they'll say, oh no, that's not good, that's dangerous. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Or no, I wouldn't do this if I were you. It doesn't seem like it's a safe or a good idea. Or, well, what's gonna happen if you don't find your way back? You're gonna get lost, and then there's gonna be all this trouble. So people plant these seeds of what I call doubt. And when we live in a state of doubt, we're living in a state of fear, and we start to live in our bubble. We start to live within our comfort zone. So my suggestion today is to say yes to something you would have said no to. And it's not that you would have said no to it because it's dangerous or bad or harmful. You would say no to it because you were scared to say yes to it because it would require you to get out of your comfort zone. And that's the yes that I would like you to start saying. It is time to say yes to the things that scare us in a good way, that scare us in a good, exciting way. I want today for you to make a commitment for yourself. For you to live your best life is to live a life of freedom. Anybody who has worked with me knows I'm on a mission to help people live a life without anxiety, fear, phobias, and that requires moving forward. That requires getting uncomfortable. I had a client that wanted to go on a road trip, but she was too scared to go on a highway. And she really wanted to do this road trip. And that required her to get uncomfortable and do the road trip on a highway by taking steps to get into that car and saying yes to the road trip and yes to herself. Because ultimately, when you're saying no to something that you mean yes, you're saying no to your growth, you're saying no to yourself, you're saying no to your desire, and you're saying no to you. So today, let's start saying yes. I want to see you all grow, be empowered, live your best life, not a life of fear, not a life of self-doubt, not a life of second guessing. Ugh, why didn't I do this? Why did I say no to that? Live your life in abundance. It is time to go from ordinary to extraordinary. And you know what? It starts today. There's no time like the present. So say yes to you. And I hope to see you in the next episode of The Wise Way to Success. If you found this show helpful, please subscribe, share it with your friends, your family. Let's spread the Wise Way community. And let's say yes. Because you know what? It's time. Have a great one.